Hello everybody and everything. Welcome to the sequel to my tier list of classic Sonic Simulator characters. I am making this sequel because I've faced a lot of constructive criticism in my comments, which I am completely okay with, and encourage people to give me such criticisms. By the way, I know of characters like EXE and Rose Sonic. I will make another video of them that isn't tier list styled because they are just resprites with some unique properties. And I can't play as them because I haven't or cannot unlock them. I do have Rose though. But let's keep the introduction brief and get into the video. Starting off with C tier, I have placed Sonic from Sonic 1. He is pretty much a blank slate. He doesn't have any abilities, which includes the spin dash, which nearly every other character can do. But hey, at least he can roll. One good thing about him though, is that like every other Sonic, he can make use of elemental shields. He can use double jump with electric, bounce with bubble, and dash with fire. But like I mentioned, every other Sonic, and Shadow I guess, can do this move. So this is why he's essentially the bottom of the barrel. Like in my last video, this list doesn't really include level creating, but I'd like to mention S1 Sonic is actually pretty good for designing difficulty focused levels, since he can't spin dash over every obstacle. How cool. Without further ado, let's move up a tier. Now kickstarting the B tier is Sonic from Sonic CD. What's good about CD is that, unlike his prior counterpart, this version of Sonic can spin dash. In fact, he can do two different types of spin dashing. The regular spin dash involves pressing down and then A or B. It will give Sonic a boost of speed, which scales with how much you charge it, but it loses acceleration. Sonic will also charge into a ball, which makes him invincible to hitting a badnik, but he can take damage from other forms of damage, such as spikes. The second type is the Super Peel Out. This move is exclusive to CD, unlike the spin dash. When you press up and then A, it will charge, which once again scales with how much you charge it. This version is faster because it loses less acceleration, but this time, Sonic doesn't roll into a ball, which makes him sensitive to every type of damage. And in case you were wondering, the reason I'm putting him behind the other Sonic variants is simply because I don't like his spin dash. The way his spin dash charges is just different than every other character besides Metal Sonic, because you have to wait to charge it instead of mashing the A and B button. In my opinion, it's a bit more boring to play with, like, let me destroy those buttons, I don't want to wait half a second. After CD, Sonic is yet another variant of Sonic, Sonic 2's iteration. And yeah, you're gonna notice a whole lot of Sonics in this video. This version doesn't have the Super Peel Out, which I honestly don't care too much about because I don't use the Peel Out when I do play as CD, but he does have my preferred version of the Spin Dash. The Spin Dash where you mash A and B to charge it, which is the only reason he's above CD. I'm sorry for my undetailed description. This is the third Sonic and counting. Saying undetailed took me 3 attempts. Next up is Sonic from Sonic 3. He has the same spin dash, but now he has the addition of the Insta-Shield. I honestly can never get the thing to work, but it's basically a move that makes you invincible for some short time when you jump and press A. He can also do a light speed dash from Sonic Adventure, as Cataclysm Vortex X mentioned in my comments, which is neat. Also, sorry if I messed up that name. So, that's quite a lot of abilities from vanilla old Sonic. I'd say he's the most versatile version of the guy due to having 2 unique moves that aren't just spin dashes or spin dashes without spin. How cool. So, in my last video, I absolutely lowballed Amy, but when I read the comments, I learnt quite a bit and I've became a little more open-minded. So I've upgraded Amy Rose from F tier to B tier. She has an insane amount of abilities she can do, which I'll go on and explain, but let's talk about some of her quirks. So, she doesn't roll into a ball when she jumps. You instead have to press A again after jumping to use her hammer attack, which functions the same as rolling into a bowl, except it runs out after a short amount of time. I complained about this originally, talking about how it was such an unnecessary challenge, but I've grown to enjoy it. The timing and elongated hitbox is fun to experiment with, adds more complexity to the gameplay. And following the trend with not rolling, she doesn't roll into a ball when she spin dashes. It's like a Super Peel Out, but you lose acceleration the same as you would with a spin dash. although you can press down right after to roll, but it's a little bit clunky. Why not just let her roll automatically? She is based off of a real moveset from Sonic Advance, to be fair, so it's more of Sega's fault, but that doesn't stop me from finding it unnecessary. Anyways, let's talk about the cool stuff. If you look up and then jump, she does a super bounce which can help you reach significant heights, avoid obstacles, and it's also just pretty fun to look at. Then, if you jump and press down, you will instantly kick to the ground, which you can use to break badniks because she also goes into a hammer attack alongside it. She's also pretty good at taking out bosses because her hammer attack actually gives her the biggest hitbox out of every character, besides Eggman I think. So overall, she's a complex character with a unique and hard to utilize moveset, but when you can utilize her moveset, she's pretty damn good. Yet, she is still held down by certain limitations and odd decisions. A fun little challenge despite all that. Notice how every character here has been a hedgehog? Well, we're not stopping. Into Eta we go. Cue the obligatory Snapcube reference.
You hot topic wannabe and you blue gumball son of a—
Wait, I can't do it anymore because Amy's in between Sonic and Shadow. Oh man. Well, I'm still putting a clip in anyways.
Gonna take you out and save the world!
Good luck with that, I have weed. See ya.
So, Shadow's next. He's the exact same as Sonic 3's Sonic, spin dash, insta shield, but he can't do a lightspeed dash, from my knowledge. He's one of my favorite characters to play as purely because of his speed. But how does he get the speed exactly? If you have 5 rings and press the B button, you will lose said 5 rings, but it makes Shadow instantly spring into a peel out, which I prefer to Sonic CDs because you don't have to charge it. He's also above the Sonic Army and Amy because he's Shadow, and Shadow's cool, okay? Now we move on to characters with pretty level breaking abilities like flying, gliding through everything with ease. Wait, someone knocked on my door. Come in!
Knock knock his knuckles.
Get it? Like the song? I'm so funny. Okay, so, Knuckles. What makes him so good? Well, you can glide and climb. To glide, just jump and press A. You will go either forwards or backwards depending on what direction you're facing, and you can change direction. You can stay off the ground and fly forwards, but you slowly descend and can ascend. While gliding, if you go into certain walls, you can climb that wall, which you can go either up or down upon, or jump off the wall to go into gliding again. So, gliding's good because it can be used to fly over obstacles and climb up walls, which makes you capable of skipping entire levels, like in Labyrinth Zone Act 1 or every Marble Zone level. His moveset is also perfect for a fun little challenge, where you try to beat the game with the least amount of left or right presses, since gliding and climbing don't need those inputs. Give it a try, it's fun. Yet, he cannot be beaten by Mrs.
Polygon
herself, Rouge the Bat. Rouge the Bat has the same moveset as Knuckles, but she also borrows the same ability from Amy, where she can instantly kick to the ground, which can halt her out of the glide. So, Knuckles is outclassed by one whole extra move. That's unfortunate, but it makes her better for the minimal left and right press challenge. How come both female characters can kick to the ground? Like, I just noticed that while writing the script, I thought it was funny. Man, it's sure been a while since I've had to rank a variant of Sonic. I'm feeling good. No! Metal Sonic is an upgrade from regular Sonic. My one complaint with the guy is that he uses the same spin dash as Sonic CD does, which makes sense since they're from the same game, but I still don't like it. But his other abilities make up for it by a long shot. He can double jump, which I find more fun than gliding, even if it's not as good. The double jump can be used for some insane skips, such as the one in this video right here in Green Hill Zone Act 4. Shameless plug. The other cool thing is that if he reaches very high speeds and is not rolling, he gets this fiery aura that makes him invincible to some forms of damage. So speed shoes give him a sort of nerfed invincibility alongside the speed boost, and because he's not rolling, he won't lose acceleration. Now we're in the top 3. This is some serious stuff. We're gonna pull out the big guns. And by big guns, I mean 8-year-old disabled foxes. But he's more than that. The reason I'm placing him this high is because of his flight. If you jump and then press A, he will start flying, This is better than Knuckles because he can freely move up and down, and you aren't automatically going either left or right. You can go up by pressing or mashing A, and down by just not pressing A. So it's basically a more maneuverable version of the glide, except it does have some downsides. The downside being the fact that it's on a time limit. If you fly for too long, Tails will get tired and start to descend pretty fast. So you have to be quick and knowledgeable with your flight, which adds some challenge and replayability to his character. He can also carry other players, so if you want to be a nuisance, you can just go ahead and swoop up some random kid. That sounds wrong. One kind of nitpick that I have with Tails is that you can't press B to fly upwards, only A. With spin dashes, you can press both A and B to spin dash, so it would make sense for Tails' flight to be the same. But it doesn't affect Tails too badly, so this is why he's in the 3rd spot. In 2nd place, so close yet so far to winning the furry throne is Dr. Robotnik. The thing is, I don't actually like him. He moves incredibly sluggish, so slow. He can't jump high. He has a hitbox that's too big for his own good and makes it easy for him to be crushed. So you may be wondering, why I put this dashing young lad so high? Because, much like Tails, he has an insane flight ability. It is actually better than Tails because it moves up quicker with a way longer cooldown. He's just Tails, but better. Another cool thing about Eggman is that touching a badnik doesn't do damage to him. Despite the fact whenever you're playing Eggman, you're flying in the sky most likely, and probably won't encounter this. It's a pretty cool detail. In my last video, I said the flight was infinite, but I was pretty wrong as mentioned in my comments, so I'm sorry about that. Woohoo! We're nearly at the end. Everything now has led up to this moment. The number one, definitive, perfect character to absolutely obliterate levels with. And it's another hedgehog. Why? Well, Supersonic, coming in at little of a surprise, he is 1st place. I'm sure you can realize why he's here before even listening to what I'm about to say. He's invincible to nearly every form of damage. He only dies from falling into voids, being crushed, or drowning. His top speed is also faster than every other character, and he can jump higher than everyone else too, besides Amy's super bounce. He's a bit of a Gary stew, which I like. Sometimes I'm tired and just want to blast through levels with the guy, but I don't play as him as much as in my last video. In fact, I rarely play as him now. He's also good for starting out players who need an easy mode or people who just aren't too good at video games. One downside I found with him is that he can't use much of the monitor power-ups. He can only use the 10 rings, life and electric shield's ring ability, which makes sense because he is the magnum opus of characters, but it's still a little bit sad. With all the characters ranked and gone over, goodbye viewer, hope you enjoyed this more than my last one. Since it's the end of the video, I'm sure you've determined whether you like me or not, so if you like me, why? But also, like and subscribe if you want to. So, outro Glossy here. I'd like to thank you guys so much for the insane support on my last video. Like, 18,000 views is insane. I still can't get over it. 18,000 views is crazy, it blows my mind. I spent a lot of hours making it and making this one. I don't know how long I took making this one because I'm just reading the script, but yeah. I would like to welcome 240 new people to Glossyville. Isn't that crazy? 240 new people? We have 300 subscribers! Remember, I am open to criticism, so like, if you have a gripe with the video, tell me about it, after all. It's the reason I remade this video. Also, I'd like to shout out this other YouTuber called CSS_Minic. He's a guy I met through a YouTube comment on that Model Sonic skip video. Super friendly guy from the comments I've had with him and insanely good speedrunner, so go check him out, maybe subscribe, definitely subscribe. Get him to 300 subscribers, he's nearly there. But also, what do you guys think of me using my real voice? In my last one I used AI and I got a lot of complaints about it, which I agreed with, actually. I don't know why I used AI, I was just being lazy. Like, it removes so much personality from the video. Am I meant to record my script in bandlab? Because I'm recording it in bandlab right now. I had to open like 2 different sessions of bandlab because the video is over 15 minutes long, or at least the script is, so I had to make a second one. That's my outro, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Oh yeah, and oh shit, oh, okay. Oh yeah, so if you like me so much, you can follow both my Twitter accounts. I'm gonna put it on the screen because I don't actually remember the handles. One of them's a gimmick account, one of them's just my main. Go check them out, they're really cool.